Widely considered one of France's greatest Enlightenment writers, François-Marie de Arouet, better known by his pen name Voltaire, was a French philosopher. His works fall under 4 categories: plays, poetry, historical works, and philosophical work. Voltaire was an outspoken adversary of many injustices, but especially of religious intolerance. His works are an outstanding embodiment of the principles of the French Enlightenment. Some of Voltaire's most interesting and thought-provoking quotes include, "Prejudices are what fools use for reason. Common sense is not so common. It is forbidden to kill, therefore all murderers are punished unless they kill in large numbers and to the sound of trumpets. It is dangerous to be right in matters on which the established authorities are wrong." Born on November 21, 1694, in Paris, France, Voltaire was born François-Marie de Arouet to an upper-middle-class family. When Voltaire was just 7 years old, his mother passed away. Following her death, he grew closer to his free-thinking godfather. In 1704, Voltaire began to show promise as a writer while receiving a classical education at the College Louis-le-Grand, a Jesuit secondary school in Paris. As early as 1711, Voltaire, eager to test himself against Sophocles and Pierre Corneille, had written a first draft of Edict, completed when he was just 19 years old during his imprisonment in the Bastille. On November 18, 1718, the play opened in Paris to a sensational success. In 1722, Voltaire began the Henriade in the Bastille. The Henriade was Voltaire's attempt to rival Virgil to give France an epic poem. Voltaire was not only a writer, but a public activist who played a key role in defining the Enlightenment movement. His main contribution to the Enlightenment was freedom of speech and religion and opposition to monarchy, militarism, and slavery. Voltaire's moral values and renowned beliefs against injustice angered many, including the French church and government, resulting in arrests and imprisonments, but Voltaire remained confident in his opinions. Voltaire was very impressed by England. In his philosophic letters on the English, he expressed a strong admiration of England's political freedom and religious tolerance. In contrast with his views of the English, Voltaire criticized the lack of freedoms in France and the absolute monarchy. This criticism of the absolute monarchy by Voltaire and the other contemporary philosophers reflected the widespread dissatisfaction of middle-class individuals of France, helping to lead to the revolutionary upheavals in the 18th century. Voltaire was especially known for his ideals of religious toleration and lent his authority and expertise as a polemicist to fighting instances of intolerance in France. The most famous incident was the affair of Jean Calas, a Protestant from Toulouse, who was accused of murdering his son to stop him from becoming a Catholic. Calas died while under torture to confess his guilt, and Voltaire was enraged and indignant. Voltaire expressed his opinion that Calas was not guilty and deserved retrial, and in the end, Calas was exonerated when it was proved his son had actually committed suicide. After the Calas affair, Voltaire's ideals of toleration began to appear more and more accepted. In 1763, Voltaire published his treatise on tolerance, in which he argued that England and Holland, religious toleration had created no problems. This helped him argue for religious toleration in France. He reminded the government that all men are brothers under God. Voltaire's personal religious views included beliefs in deism, a view which suggested in a God who had created the universe, but had no direct involvement in what happens in the world, but had only created it and allowed it to run according to its own natural laws. God did not extend grace or listen to prayers as Christians were convinced. Voltaire claimed that Jesus might have been a good fellow, but he was not divine. Voltaire's influence in the Enlightenment movement stemmed from a strong belief in tolerance and the condemnation of injustices. His views and ideals provided a strong foundation in the Enlightenment movement, and he is considered one of the most important philosophers of the time.